Guten Tag, everyone, and welcome to Monday, May 6, 2024. I'm Joe Pratt, keeping you informed of what's happening in the world. Happy birthday if it's your birthday today. You share a birthday with Clark Knudsen, Sigmund Freud, Rudolph Valentino, Orson Welles, Willie Mays, he's 93 today, Bob Seger, Tony Blair, Chris Paul, and George Clooney. This is Teacher Appreciation Week and Nurses Week. And in election news, a new poll out, this one by USA Today, shows Biden and Trump tied at 37% each. Now that's interesting because that's the same number who are diehard Democrats or Republicans who will vote Democrat or Republican no matter who the candidate is. More people are moving to the undecided category, 12% in this poll, and 24% said they may change their vote by election time. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. got 8%, and 5% are backing some other candidate. File this one as one of many polls that show different outcomes. Hamas has announced it has accepted a ceasefire proposal put together by Egypt and Qatar. Israel hasn't commented yet, but they have been telling citizens to get out of Rafah because they plan on bombing it. We don't have any details on what the ceasefire agreement contains at this point. Hamas is not surrendering, only asking for a ceasefire, a temporary end to the fighting. Columbia University has canceled its main commencement ceremony and will hold individual school-level ceremonies instead. And Emory University in Atlanta has moved its commencement to a place off campus. Both of these are in response to the protests in an attempt to keep the students safe. Some parts of the country are bracing for a big cicada invasion. If you're familiar with that insect, the cicada, two different varieties or broods emerge in great numbers every 13 and 17 years. Both of these types are hitting this year, so it will be way more than normal. The noise will be pretty loud in some areas, but scientists want to stress that these insects are harmless, they're not poisonous, and they don't bite. And if your pet eats one, it won't do any harm. They will show up mainly in 9 states: Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, Kentucky, and Missouri. In Pennsylvania, a man entered a church and tried to shoot the pastor. He pulled the trigger, but the gun jammed and he was tackled to the ground by a couple of people in the congregation. Police arrested the man and searched his home and found another dead body who had been shot earlier, apparently his uncle. Houston is experiencing flooding, not on the same level as Hurricane Harvey, but still causing damage to the area. One death is reported as a child was swept from a car that got stalled in the deep water. In entertainment, in the film industry that's known for gossip and scandal, Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt mentioned in an interview recently that both of them had their families with them for the whole shooting experience when they filmed The Fall Guy in Australia. Ryan Gosling mentioned that he always takes his family with him to do a film project. Pulitzer Prizes will be awarded today. We'll give you the winners tomorrow on our podcast. Mother's Day is this Sunday, as you know. I'll mention a couple facts about Mother's Day each day this week in my podcast. To begin with, the mother of Mother's Day is Anna Jarvis, who campaigned for the special day by petitioning Congress. Anna Jarvis decided to champion the cause of having a special day for mothers when she heard her mom give a prayer in Sunday school one time, where she asked that somewhere, sometime, someone would start a Memorial Day for mothers. Anna decided to be that person, and Mother's Day became a national holiday. From that day in 1914, the idea has spread to other countries. And now 121 countries celebrate Mother's Day. In some countries, Mother's Day is on a different day than this Sunday. Anna Jarvis, who started it all by making it an official holiday, never became a mother, never had children of her own. In sports, racing gets the spotlight today. A big win in yesterday's Formula One race in the Miami Grand Prix. Lando Norris held the record for taking second or third place the most times and never having won. Yesterday, he won his first race in 111 starts, beating Max Verstappen, who has been dominating Formula One the last couple years. Norris beat Verstappen by a solid 7.6 seconds. With less than 10 laps to go and a 5-second lead, Norris joked on the car radio with his team, asking, "Am I still alive?" to show how big of a win this was. Verstappen has won 4 out of the 5 races so far this year, and he won the largest percentage of them last year, probably 90%. And in NASCAR racing, Kyle Larson edged out Chris Buescher in the closest finish ever in a NASCAR race. The race was at the Kansas Raceway, and Larson won by 1/1000th of a second and literally inches. They had to analyze the video and the photo to determine who won. In the NBA playoffs, Cleveland advanced and sent Orlando home packing. Cleveland had to come back from an 18-point deficit in order to win the game. Cleveland will now play the Boston Celtics next. An escaped zebra has been recaptured near Seattle, Washington. 4 zebras got out of a trailer when it was parked for a short time. 3 of the 4 were recaptured soon after they got out, but 1 they couldn't find for about a week. I'll bet TSA agents have some crazy stories of what they found in people's luggage. Well, in Miami, they found a bag hidden in a passenger's pants that had tiny snakes in it. 2 small snakes about 18 inches long. They weren't allowed on the plane, of course. Didn't they make a movie about something similar? In religion, today's quote from the sacred texts comes from the Dhammapada, the Buddhist text, the Papavaga verses, 117 and 118. Quote, "If a man commits evil, let him not repeat it again and again. Let him not delight in it, for the accumulation of sin brings suffering. Should a person do good, let him do it again and again. Let him find pleasure therein. For blissful is the accumulation of good." Heather Bowers was dying of cancer, and her one last wish, she was near death, by the way, and her one last wish was to have her favorite meal, the Hawaiian pork plate from Mama Kwan's Grill and Tiki Bar. The problem is that the restaurant was a 6-hour drive away. Heather's good friend Mary Simmons was with her, and she left a message on the restaurant's phone telling them about her last request. The owner, Kevin Cherry, decided to deliver it himself. He got there just in time, as Heather died the next day. The owner didn't charge the woman for the meal or for the long delivery, and even said he would make a $1,000 donation to the hospice taking care of her. Joe Pratt, make it a great day.